Very quick session on this video for tonight. Just a couple of things I noticed that I think is very relevant to what's going on in this market. Look at the data here. Look how much green is on the actual data results channel. Very little red there. So in other words, we're actually getting a lot of positive data this week. And if you step back from this chart, this is the pound 60-minute. All we've done is this. If I can just tidy this chart up a little bit. Take that off. Notice this 152.70 area here and this 154 area up here. We're just moving in that channel. Since the 22nd, we've just been moving in that box. In fact, in the last 20 minutes, the Dow closed an hour ago. We actually spiked up and got very close to the daily 200. So this is the daily is a very bullish bar. So there's according to that chart there, we have actually touched the daily 200. So we've closed above the monthly pivot, and we've touched the 200. We're between the 50 and the 200 EMA. But I think if we see 153.50 area here, I think that's a pullback. This is a lot of congestion. The danger is we just shuffle along and get trapped here. But we've engulfed yesterday's bar there. It's the highest close in the week. You're not risking that much capital if you buy at 350 because you stop underneath 2 bars back. It's only 260. Okay, the downside is we could end up just shuffling around this area here and being boxed for a while longer. But I think that's actually quite a bullish chart. If we look at the pound yen, the yen's seen some strength today. So this is this is a tighter range. Pound yen has been much tougher to trade this week because we're trapped in that range. Could go either way. Bear in mind the RSI is quite high, stochastics is quite high, so we could just fall out of that to the downside. But I would just, I would still be a buyer of the pound US dollar. Euro, I tried shorting this, and it just wouldn't have it. Yeah, in fact, I was on the wrong side of this trade today. Got a small stop out. I took the trade because I wasn't risking that much capital anyway. I was shorting here, and it just would not sell. Did nothing for 2-3 hours, and then we just eventually just burst up. But if you look, I'll tell you why I was shorting it. Because very high RSI. Where am I? Yeah, look at this resistance here. This is massive. Lots of touches here on this 152.60 area. The 60 minutes prior to that breakup, I've done a lot of tests at this area. I was shorting down here. It could not close above it, and then suddenly late in the day, late in the US session, it closed above it, pulled back, and then ran. But yeah, that's these markets are actually quite bullish. Let's pull this. Let's have this chart showing us the weekly. Pull that out. So we're right. That's another reason why I was shorting it, because we were right up against that weekly 200. Smack on it. And we have a reversal bar now. Now the markets are shut. Let's put a reversal bar in. But a very bullish daily. Let's look at the daily. Look at that. That's a very bullish daily. So that's a buy at 132.20 now. To see if we can get up to 134, possibly 135. But again, there's very little data tomorrow, and that's going to need a big bust up. So I would, to be honest, you're safer just sitting on your hands. Okay, oil. I did take one trade out of oil. We've now ended up with a hammer. If we break that high tomorrow, I think we'll retest our monthly R3 at 108. Why did I take that? I took that because look at that massive support down here. Absolutely huge. I actually wrote a big note to myself looking for 104, and unfortunately in my notebook, I'd written a few more notes. This got hidden away. I should have set a massive alarm on it because that 104 was huge. I set myself a target to try and buy 104. Anyway, I did get 50 points out of it on the back of a 60-minute move. Nothing else to note, I don't think. The Aussie US dollar is shuffling around. That's in a 250. It's been in a 250 point range since third week in June. You can see the weekly this could end up being the third week of a buyer's bar, which has put pressure on the pound Aussie dollar, which had a huge move to the upside on the daily. Lovely move into 168 and then sold off. Okay, so FTSE 60 around about the 6600 mark. So the low was bought. Did an overnight trade and took a profit in that one. I did an overnight trade in the pound and the FTSE. So I had money in the bank before I even started trading today. But I did short the FTSE and got a small stop out, and shorted the, what else was it? Oh, the euro. So I did two shorts and they just did not work. Alright, so take it easy into the week, into the Friday, and then we'll see you in the next update.